Welcome, everyone. So happy to be here with you. I was unbelievably honored when Reverend Jen asked me to be a part of this. I said, it was like the yes burst out of me. There was no thought. And I'm just so excited to see all of your faces. We're going to today work on an art journal page or pages, feeling that were inspired by a conversation actually with Reverend Jen. And I wanted to give you just a moment when we kick this off. I'm gonna play a video, a song that I love and I feel like just has great lyrics and gets you into a wonderful space for celebrating today, this moment, the time that we get to be together to create. And will allow you to gather any supplies you need. So I'll be talking about this page a little later, but I wanted to share it with you. So my page, I just used some acrylic paint. I used some glitter. I even used some tin foil in here, which I'll explain. I've got a quote going on. So if there's anything that you want to gather that you absolutely love, or something you're feeling like you haven't played with and you'd like to, I want to give you this moment as I play this video and the song for you to start us off, to gather any supplies you might need to maybe move your body. Feel free to chair dance. I will absolutely be doing that. And move your body, get excited for us to begin. I'd love to start by talking a little bit about the conversation that I had with Reverend Jen. And when she had invited me to be a part of this, we were talking about the idea of choice and will. And I was fascinated by this. When we are making choices, when we are faced with choices, what is it that inspires the choice? I really started to think about what is me, right? Moving a choice or a decision forward, and what is spirit? And I really wanted to sit with that for a while. So I took a walk and I was really inside of this idea of where does choice come from? How do I make a decision around it? And I started to notice all these butterflies around me. And I was in awe. And I couldn't remember if sort of they had appeared before or if they've always been there and I was just tuning into them. And I started to think about something I had recently written actually in my journal, which was I was looking to incorporate more joy into my life. We are in a world right now where it is easy to find grief and sorrow, confusion, stress, overwhelm. And I'd always had this great sense of joy, but I'd felt it recently sort of heavy, as though I had an anchor on my heart. And so I wanted to make a conscious decision to not forget about or turn away from the grief and the sorrow and the things that are challenging right now in our world, but to incorporate more joy so that there's more of a balance in my life. And so I walking forward and thinking about choices, and here I am seeing all these butterflies, and I thought, oh, there has to be a message here. I am missing something. There's something here. 2 hours later, I'm having a conversation with a friend and she says, oh, I wanted to tell you, I put a butterfly next to your name on my phone because that's what you remind me of. And I went, oh, and I was like, okay, I will admit fully and freely, I can be super thick-headed and the universe often has to hit me over the head with things. And this was one of those moments where I thought, okay, I am listening. I'm going to tune in and try to figure this out. So butterflies, as I know we're all aware, are so often associated with transformation. And there's areas of my life that are transforming, but they are also associated with joy, lightheartedness. And I was like, wow, that is exactly what I needed. It is exactly what I wrote. And it was brought to my doorstep. Were the butterflies there the whole time and I just tuned in, or did they appear because I had asked somehow a question in my journal saying I need more lightheartedness, more joy in my life? I don't know. I can't answer that question. But what I can say is that when I started to notice them, I realized that we are in a constant dance with the universe. So I wanted to understand more about choice and then listening, right? And we're so focused on listening with our ears. How else might the universe be talking to us all the time? So I thought about my senses. I thought about, have you had those moments where you're sitting somewhere and all of a sudden you smell something? Either it's the greatest smell you've ever had or the most terrible one, but it takes you to another place. It's like an instant portal. You are transported somewhere else. And suddenly you realize that something you were thinking about a while ago has come up. And maybe, in fact, that's the universe talking to you and saying, yep, I hear you. How about this? Remember this. Or you're walking somewhere, you're sitting somewhere, you're in your car, you're distracted for a moment, and you have that sensation inside where that voice that says, look up. And you look up and you see something, words, a sign, a person, and you're suddenly connected again. You're feeling something inside, and you're like, yeah, exactly. What I was just thinking about is coming to reality. The universe is once again talking with you, but it really is a dance. And I'm clumsy, so it's really easy when I'm having this dance to be in the middle of it with this gracious partner and I trip over something or I turn the wrong way and then I have to come back. And I feel like that's how we move through the world so often. We are dancing. You go for your art supplies and you're like, I really want this one color, and you see something else and it is calling to you. It is pick me up and put me on the page. And you are like, oh yeah, I should. And you find something new, all because you used a different color, a different material. The universe is constantly dancing with us. And if we choose to listen in all of these different ways that we have, then we can find that rhythm. And for some, it's like hip hop, a tap dance, salsa, whatever it is a dance that we're doing, and we're all doing independent ones. So I started to think about will then. If the universe and I are in a constant dance, there is no, am I pushing it forward, and where does spirit come in? Spirit is with us all the time. So then where does the will part come in? So I started to think about sensations in my body. When I am excited about something or I suddenly notice something, have you ever had that moment where your heart feels like it just might burst because it's so filled up with love? You're like, oh, that was amazing. Or you have that sensation in that solar plexus area, which is often associated with our will, but it's that gut, right? It's the idea of I'm moving from my gut. How often are you listening to that? Our body is even aligned in this dance with spirit. So there is no disconnection. There is no, am I waiting for a message? Am I making this go forward? Yes, we have our ego, but we always hear that. We know when that's talking to us. It's usually telling us we're like not doing something well enough or good enough. And we're like, nope, please go bowling. I know I am. I'm working on this thing called life and I'm doing it with spirit, right? It's as though we're driving in this car, right? On Route 66, California, heading to the beach, got our surfboards. We're going to dive in and do this dance with the ocean. We're doing it with spirit all the time. And when I listen to the song by the 10,000 Maniacs, These Are the Days, there's an amazing line in there that says, see the signs and know their meaning. See the signs and know they're speaking to you. I also heard that on the day of the butterflies. I was like, I am listening. I got it. But as I said, I'm thick and I need a lot of reminding. I'm like a goldfish. I forget often. So as I was thinking about this art journal page and I was thinking about choice, I recognized that choice doesn't happen without listening. Listening is an integral part of how we exist in the world. It is something that we don't just do with our ears. It's something that we do with our entire being. How might we find our way on an art journal page if we stop before we step onto our page and listen deeply within? What might we find? The next part of that is the dance. Once we are listening, it is like we have music within us. And the universe hears it, spirit arrives, and we begin to dance again. So on this art journal page, I am going to invite you to dance. Whatever that means or however that looks for you. There is no right or wrong. It is a completely personal experience. We're all in this dance together, but we're all having different dances. And so when I started to do my page, I also, prior to it, was like, I wonder if there's a whole thing out there about the universe and dancing that I just haven't been aware of. And I found a quote by one of my heroes, Julia Cameron, that says, life is a spiritual dance, and our unseen partner has steps to teach us if we will allow ourselves to be led. The next time you are restless, remind yourself it is the universe asking, shall we dance? I just got so excited about that. I didn't know what to do. I was like, woohoo, she understands this. So I wrote it down on my page. But when I started my page, I had the butterflies in mind. And I asked myself the question, do I begin with butterflies? Is that where I begin? And I decided to instead just take the paintbrush and let it move in lines across the page. So when I started, I was simply moving lines, color. That's all I was doing. And I kept asking the question. I will absolutely put that quote in the chat, Pat. Absolutely. Thank you for asking. When I started with the lines, they were just colors. I wanted to blend color. I wanted to play with the idea of movement on the page. And as I started to make these lines, I did in fact think, oh yes, I think I see a butterfly. But then I also started to see something really weird, which was actually two what I think are, and they look to me like seahorses. I was like, oh, it's seahorses and it's a butterfly and it's a whole thing. And I just let myself have fun with that idea of what could come on the page. Could I trust enough and have faith enough in myself and in spirit that I would be led to whatever it was that I needed to create, whatever I needed to see? And in this, I see dual things, and I love that. And I feel like I could return again and again and see something new. Up here, I put little butterflies, and I used punches for them, little butterfly punches. And what I loved about them is I used tinfoil, which is completely random, and I cannot tell you that I use that often, but I used tinfoil because silver is associated with will, and I thought, that sounds kind of good. I like this sort of willed butterfly, the strength of a small butterfly. And stars because I am obsessed with them. And I think that I often think of silver as associated with stardust as well. And inside of each of these, I put silver glitter because I like things when they sparkle. And also because I like the idea that we are all made of stardust. All of us on the planet, everywhere, where there's all this connection between us and the universe. We all have stardust within. And that is how I created this page. Now, this is only an idea. I would love for you to use any material that inspires you, that you feel today, all of a sudden you're like, I think I might need to use this for some reason. I don't know. Go with it. Think about the dance that we do with the universe and how we're invited back again and again. And each time, not only to be supported in maybe what we're asking or the questions that we have, but this dance is also a way to open us up to new things, new idea, new movement, new thoughts. So before we step into our page and begin to play, like Narnia, go into this whole world that is your own and you get to create, we're going to do a short meditation. And this is to center ourselves, and it is to get our imagination ready to play. Because dance is playful, movement is playful, and the universe is playful. Spirit is always looking, I think, to work with us in that respect. So I will invite you, if you like, to keep your camera on or off. It's up to you. I would invite you to sit in a comfortable seat, comfortable chair. Feel your feet upon the ground. Feeling your hands on your lap if you like. Closing your eyes if that is available to you and you feel comfortable. You can just close them down, look at the tip of your nose, or close them all the way, whatever feels best. And I want you to take a moment just to notice your feet on the floor, feeling the earth supporting you, knowing you are supported. And sitting up with a nice tall spine, feeling that strength all throughout your body, all the way up through the top crown of your head, opening toward the heavens, being connected to both earth and sky. On an inhale, feel the breath almost playful as it comes in through your nostrils, your throat, into your lungs. And as you exhale, feeling as though your shoulders are coming down from your ears, your shoulder blades are sliding down your back, and you're settling into this moment. Inhaling, feeling the air come through your nostrils, your throat, your lungs, into your belly, filling it up. And as you exhale, allowing the breath, like the wings of a butterfly, to carry away anything that you no longer need. On your next inhale, inhaling all the way through your belly, down to your toes, feeling the breath fill you, making space within you. And as you let go of everything that came before, everything that is to come, to be present in this moment. Allowing your breath to return to its normal pace, just noticing it. I invite you to imagine your heart space as a doorway. Standing before it, it's a beautiful door. You reach forward and open the door. On the other side lay a beautiful field. You can feel the grass beneath your feet. The sky above is changing from day to evening. The air is cool as you walk forward. You step upon the grass, smiling to yourself, trees around you, hearing birds chirp. You stop before a small box. It's beautifully decorated in your favorite colors. You reach down and you open the box, only to find the most beautiful pair of dancing shoes. What would they look like for you? They have been made specifically for you. And when you are ready, you strap on the shoes or you tie on the shoes and you begin to walk forward again in the cool evening air. The sky above, filled with stars and fireflies. And slowly walk back towards that door that you came through. This heart center, knowing that you can return at any time. It is always here for you. And you close the door behind you and return to the room that you are currently in. Feeling your feet upon the floor. Maybe they feel a little more bouncy and special. Feeling like energy is surging through you, a creative excitement. Inhaling one more time with gratitude for this moment, this time that you are invited to create. Exhaling slowly. On your next inhale, open our eyes. Taking a nice deep breath, looking around at all the materials waiting for you. It is, my friends, officially time to play.